अब स्टुडेन्टको पर्सपेक्टिभ हेरौँ न त. What do students think? What makes a teacher an effective teacher? So यसको लागि चाहिँ सुजित र यशस्वी, प्लिज.
Thank you so much, everyone. Like सबैजनालाई who teachers are like especially who shared all of these things, and so it was really exciting. And अब to begin with students, Mara Yashaswi, we'll start with for a lot of time, for a lot of years, this has been the scene. This scene, WWE को wrestling arena. जसमा चाहिँ the teachers are on one side of the bar and the students are on the other side. अनि के हुन्छ भने sometimes the teachers win the elimination chamber को match, but sometimes the students become tricky enough and lucky enough to win the Hell in a Cell match. So that has been the scene till date है अहिलेसम्मको, explaining in short. अनि यो सबै गरिसकेपछि चाहिँ यो सबैलाई अलिकति बर्ड आई भ्यूबाट इन्ट्रोस्पेक्ट गर्ने हो भने चाहिँ होइन कस्तो भने थिङ्किङ डेभलप भएको छ क्या. टिचर्स प्लस स्टुडेन्ट्स इक्वल टु डब्ल्युडब्ल्युई यस्तै भएको छ क्या थिङ्किङ होइन. बट देन अब डब्ल्युडब्ल्युई भनेको त अब पहिलादेखि भइआएको चिज हो एन्ड वी अल हेभ सिन द्याट होइन, ग्रो हुँदै 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 आयो. एन्ड देन अहिले आएर चाहिँ एउटा रियलाइजेसन चाहिँ के भयो भने डब्ल्युडब्ल्युई त फेक पो रहेछ क्या. यु क्यान सी इन द्याट भिडियो होइन, फेक पो रहेछ क्या. अनि के भयो भने ल यो त सबै फेक रहेछ, द फाइक एभ्रिथिङ होइन. वाट ह्यापन्स अन स्टेज इज वान थिङ, वाट ह्यापन्स बिहाइन्ड द स्टेज इज वान थिङ होइन. सो फेक रहेछ. अनि एक्चुली चाहिँ के रहेछ भने दे हेभ एन असम कम्युनिटी के बिहाइन्ड द सिन. बाई द्याट वाट आई मिन इज स्टेजमा हुने कुरा एउटा हुन्छ, द्याट्स ह्यापनिङ होइन. जस्तै यहाँ अन्डरटेकर र ट्रिपल एचको फाइट भइरहेछ भने बट अफ द स्टेज दे आर बडिज, दे सेयर द फिलिङ्स, they share how they feel about their match होइन. त्यसरी अन द स्टेज यहाँ सन माइकल र अर्को स्टोन कोल्ड छ भने अन अफ द स्टेज दे कोल्याबोरेट, दे इनोभेट, दे डु अ लट अफ अमेजिङ थिङ्स होइन एज अ टिम, एज अ कोल्याबोरेटर्स होइन. सो एट दि एन्ड दे हेभ एन असम कम्युनिटी. डब्ल्युडब्ल्युई फेक त हो बट दे हेभ एन असम कम्युनिटी होइन. सो दिस ब्रिङ्स अस टु माई पोइन्ट के हाम्रो चाहिँ किन छैन त. अघि डब्ल्युडब्ल्युईको म्याचमा एउटा साइडमा टिचर्स छ, अर्को साइडमा स्टुडेन्ट छ भने वाइ नट हियर होइन. सो यो सबै कुराको उ गर्नको लागि चाहिँ होइन, यही कुरालाई डिप गर्नको लागि चाहिँ हामीले धेरैजनालाई सोध्यो कि क्वेसन्सहरू है. लाइक मेरो साथीहरूलाई एभ्रिथिङ आई कुड रिच आउट टु लाइक अनलाइन एकाडेमीको टिम, अरू फ्रेन्ड्सहरू, लाइक अब फ्यामिली रिलेसनसिप, एक्स गर्लफ्रेन्ड, वेभर हु विथ हुम आई कुड लाइक हुन्छ नि. किनभने मैले किन भनिरहेको छु भने इट हेज बिन गोइङ अन थ्रु अ लङ फेज कि मेरो स्कुलदेखिको फेजमा जो साथीहरू थियो उनीहरूदेखि नै हुन्छ नि टिचर्सहरू यस्तो उस्तो अनि के हुँदै आउँदा 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 अहिले एउटा सेन्स अफ अन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ भएको छ स्टुडेन्ट्सहरूको होइन. बट देन एउटा के चाहिँ रहेछ भने मिस भन्ने चिज रहेछ कि, एन्ड द्याट मिस स्ट्यान्ड्स फर मिसअन्डरस्ट्यान्डिङ, मिसइन्टरप्रिटेसन एन्ड मिसकम्युनिकेसन. द्याट्स वाट ह्यापनिङ बिट्विन टिचर्स एन्ड स्टुडेन्ट्स. र यही चिजलाई चाहिँ फोकस गर्न I am Suzzeet, र मेरो tag team partner चाहिँ Yashaswi Surana are here to represent and highlight the word represent students on what makes a teacher an effective teacher है त. So with that, where we come to is like teachers एकदम बदमास हुनुपर्ने रहेछ क्या इफेक्टिभ हुनलाई. बदमास भन्नाले नट बदमास विथ एन ए बट बदमास विथ एन ओ हो क्या. रिमेम्बर हाउ पहिला क्लासरुममा हामीले बदमास रुल त्यो सिम्प्लिफिकेसन पढ्थ्यो नि, पहिला ब्राकेट, त्यसपछि अफ, त्यसपछि डिभाइड, त्यसपछि मल्टिप्लाई भने जस्तो एउटा लेयर्सहरू हुँदो रहेछ क्या. लेयर्स पनि कस्तो भने प्याजको लेयर्स के लगाएको जस्तै के हुन्छ नि. लाइक के हो त ल, जस्तै अब हुन्छ नि बर्थ भनेको के हो भने पुरा माइटोसिस मियोसिस के छ भने मियोसिस भनेको के हो त भनेर लेयर्सहरू के लाउँछ नि. यो भने यस्तो हो, यसपछि यस्तो हुन्छ, यो स्टेजपछि यो स्टेज हुन्छ भनेर इट्स लाइक द्याट रहेछ क्या teaching चाहिँ. अनि without having that, without the capability of simplifying stuff, I think teaching could not be any more effective. Okay? And that is why onions को जस्तै layers हरूमा खेल्न सक्यो होइन. नट विथ एन होल अनियन है कहिलेकाहीँ चाहिँ अब कतिजनाले चाहिँ स्याड रियालिटी हो कतिजनाले चाहिँ होल अनियनै फालिदिरहेको हुन्छ होइन विच इज लाइक भेरी हार्ड फर अस एज स्टुडेन्ट्स टु टेक सो लेट्स वर्क अन लेयर्स रादर देन दि होल अनियन होइन र यो भन्दा भन्दै चाहिँ आई हेभ अ लाइक हुन्छ नि सिम्प्लिफिकेसनको पावर चाहिँ एउटा इक्जाम्पलबाट दिन खोज्छु क्या लाइक हुन्छ नि हाउ वर्ड्सहरू यस्तो सबै फिल जस्ट एउटा हुन्छ नि सिम्प्लिफाई गरेर अब भिजुलाइज गर्न सक्यो भने लाइक कति इजी हुँदो रहेछ त चिजहरू बुझ्नलाई भनेर क्या सो भिजुलाइज भ्याल्यु भन्ने चाहिँ एउटा पेज छ इन्स्टाग्राममा एन्ड दे हेभ अ वेबसाइट टु होइन सो वाट दिस पेज डज इज लाइक सिम्प्लिफाइज हुन्छ नि सिम्पल ल्याङ्ग्वेज वर्ड्सहरूलाई पनि क्या मजाले डायग्रामेटिक वेमा चाहिँ प्रेजेन्ट गर्नुहुन्छ क्या सो लाइक आई गिभ यु 5 to 10 seconds to see and understand what it means. सो इट्स सिम्पल के ट्रुथ भनेको चाहिँ के हो अरे भने माथिबाट लाइट छ भने हाम्रो लेभलको एउटा बायसनेसको ऊबाट त्यो पालबाट चाहिँ जति कुरा छिर्छ नि द्याट इज आवर पर्सेप्सन रे क्या होइन दिस इज अब दिस इज एभ्रिवेयर क्या हामीले टिचिङ गर्दाखेरि हुन्छ कि के हुन्छ होइन सो यस्तै खालको कन्सेप्ट्सहरू लाइक सिम्पल कुरा एज ट्रुथलाई पनि होइन हाउ हुन्छ नि थ्रु भिजुलाइजेसन अर भेरियस मिन्सहरूबाट चाहिँ होइन लाइक सिम्प्लिफाई गरिदियो भने चाहिँ बुझ्नुलाई त्यति सजिलो हुन्छ भनेर कि त्यसै गरी अर्को एउटा कुरा चाहिँ इट्स जस्ट अ ऱ्यान्डम ऊ होइन लाइक फर क्ल्यारिटी स्लो डाउन भन्ने क्या अनि विथ द हेल्प अफ दिस इमेज होइन यु क्यान अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड दिस रियली वेल सो विथ द्याट मेरो फर्स्ट पोइन्ट अफ बिङ एन इफेक्टिभ टिचर इज टु सिम्प्लिफाई थिङ्स क्या because an effective teacher simplifies complex stuffs and only then people will understand and people will act on it and here people भनेको चाहिँ हामी the students हो है simplification is the first thing त्यसै गरी अर्को भनेको चाहिँ एउटा इन्सिडेन्ट सेयर गर्छु ल म अब दिस इज अ ट्रु इन्सिडेन्ट होइन सो आई निड नट फिल्टर दिस है अनि के छ भने चाहिँ अब लाइक एक दिन चाहिँ लाइक वेयर अब हुन्छ नि म यत्तिकै कहाँतिर लाइक एउटा इभेन्टमा बसिरहेको थिएँ एन्ड देन के भयो भने त्यहाँ के अरे पावर पोइन्टमा चाहिँ आई मिन त्यो प्रोजेक्टरमा चाहिँ स्क्रिन अन थियो एन्ड देन टिचरजीले चाहिँ के गर्नु भएछ भने ऊ यहाँतिर एउटा मार्केटिङ इन 2018 भन्ने एउटा ऊ छ भने चाहिँ अनि द्याट वाज अलरेडी 2020 होइन अनि त्यसपछि के गर्नुभयो भने चाहिँ उहाँले चाहिँ झटझट एकैचोटि कर्सर यहाँ लानुभयो अनि च्याट 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 गर्दै चाहिँ 2020 काटेर चाहिँ मेड इट 20 लाइक 2018 काटेर चाहिँ 2020 क्या है अनि नाउ यु अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड वाट्स ह्यापनिङ होइन लाइक अब के भइरहेछ भने चाहिँ 2000 मार्केटिङ इज सच अ बिग त्यो ऊ हो नि त बिग फिल्ड हो नि त 2020मा भएको चिज 2018मा भएको चिज 2020मा पनि रेलिभेन्ट त हुँदैन नि त बट वाट यता चाहिँ के देखिरहेछ भने द सेम डेक अफ स्लाइड द सेम डेक अफ कन्टेन्ट इट इज बिङ रिभाइज ओभर एन्ड ओभर एन्ड ओभर अगेन के अघि सरले भन्नुको भएको जस्तो लर्न अनलर्न र रिलर्नको कुरा आएन कि यता अनि एज इम्पोर्टेन्ट एज इट इज फर अस एज स्टुडेन्ट्स टु लर्न अनलर्न एन्ड रिलर्न आई थिङ्क इट्स अल्सो इम्पोर्टेन्ट फर टिचर्स टु लर्न अनलर्न एन्ड रिलर्न टु है यो भन्दैमा चाहिँ के छ भने जस्तो अघिकै कुरामा पनि मार्केटिङ यसरी 2018मा डिफाइन भइरहेछ भने होइन इट्स सो इम्पोर्टेन्ट कि विथ टाइम कुराहरू त चेन्ज हुन्छ नि त पहिला डिजिटल मार्केटिङ थिएन होला अहिले आयो होला पहिला इन्फ्लुएन्सर मार्केटिङ थिएन होला अहिले आयो होला डिफ्रेन्ट स्टफ्सहरू भइरहेको हुन्छ होइन त्यसै गरी अब इट्स सो इम्पोर्टेन्ट टु लाइक रिअरेन्ज स्टफ के एन्ड द्याट इज दिस इज लाइक सबै कुराहरू त्यो अरेन्जमेन्टहरू फेरि एकचोटि स्क्याटर गरेर चाहिँ हेर्नु जरुरी छ क्या एन्ड देन वाट वी डु इज वी अरेन्ज देम अगेन के अनि दिस इज लर्निङ अनलर्निङ एन्ड रिलर्निङ के अनि आई थिङ्क फर टिचर्स हु आर लाइक एकदमै हुन्छ नि हु हेज फास्ट लेभल अफ नलेज टुवर्ड्स what they're sharing होइन सो इट्स सो इम्पोर्टेन्ट फर देम टु लाइक लर्निङ उनीहरूसँग नलेज त उहाँहरूसित हुनुहुन्छ नि बट टाइम एन्ड अगेन अनलर्न गरेर रिलर्न गरेर अपडेट हुन चाहिँ सो इम्पोर्टेन्ट छ सो द सेकेन्ड थिङ द्याट्स इम्पोर्टेन्ट is to learn, unlearn, and relearn in order to be an effective teacher. त्यसै गरी अर्को चाहिँ आई वुड ह्याभ टु सी दिस होइन इज प्रेजेन्टेसन स्किल्स इन अर्डर टु बी एन इफेक्टिभ टिचर है सो यो चाहिँ मैले किन भनिरहेको छु भने प्रेजेन्टेसन अहिले हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ आइम नट सेङ लाइक त्यो पुरा एनिमेसन गरेर हुन्छ नि यताबाट ल्याउने घुम्याछ टेक्स्टहरू आइम नट सेङ द्याट के आइम टकिङ अबाउट द बेसिक्स अनि वाइ इज द्याट इम्पोर्टेन्ट भन्दाखेरि अहिले त हेर्दाखेरि पावर पोइन्ट त हो जस्तो पनि लाग्न सक्छ होइन बट देन वाइ एम आई टेलिङ दिस इज प्रेजेन्टेसनमा दुईवटा चिज हुन्छ क्या वान इज द टेक्स्ट जस जो हेर्दा हेर्दा हामी स्टुडेन्ट्सहरू पाकि नै सक्यो होइन अर्को इज थ्याङ्कफुली लाइक पिक्चर्सहरू भिडियोजहरू हुन्छ कि होइन अनि यो दुइटा हुने बित्तिकै एउटा म्याजिक चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने लर्निङ चाहिँ फास्टर हुन्छ र मेसेज चाहिँ एम्प्लिफाई हुन्छ कि है अनि त्यही कुरालाई ब्याकअप गर्नको लागि चाहिँ हुन्छ नि अब एउटा आर्टिकल छ द्याट इज टेक्स्ट भर्सेस इमेजेस विच कन्टेन्ट फर्मेट इज इफेक्टिभ वाइल टिचिङ भन्ने क्या अनि द्याट इज बाई काई टोम्बक होइन 2019को आर्टिकल र यहाँ चाहिँ के भनेको छ भने मान्छेहरूलाई सुनाउने मात्र हो र टेक्स्ट मात्र देखाउने हो भने दे विल लर्न 10% रे क्या 3 दिनपछि सोद्धाखेरि दे लर्न 10% होइन बट इफ वी युज अडियो भिजुअल्सहरू सबै होइन लाइक अब अडियोजहरू टेक्स्ट छ लाइक के अरे अनि भिडियोजहरू छ पिक्चर्सहरू सब छ होइन विच it exists in PowerPoint, and then that effectiveness is increased to 65% from 10%. This is a backed up thing, by Tom Bock. So you can see that article, and so त्यही भएर चाहिँ अब by that I'm saying अहिलेको लागि चाहिँ presentation skills होइन तर दिस कुड बी भेरियस अदर मिडियम्सहरू पनि क्या प्रेजेन्टेसन स्किल सँगसँगै अहिले के अरूहरू पनि आइसक्यो होइन सो या अनि प्रेजेन्टेसन पिपिटी पावर पोइन्ट होइन इट्स सो इम्पोर्टेन्ट अनि द्याट वुड डेफिनेटली हेल्प टिचर्स टु एम्प्लिफाई द मेसेज के र बाई एम्प्लिफिकेसन वाट आई मिन इज पहिला जतिको इफेक्टिभ हुन्छ होइन अब भिडियोजहरू पिक्चर्सहरू त्यसै गरी ऊहरू युज गरेर अझै इफेक्टिभ हुन्छ भने त देन वाइ नट र वाट इट डज इट बिल्ड्स कनेक्सन के इट बिल्ड्स कनेक्सन बिट्विन टिचरको नलेज यो ठाउँमा छ भने अब बुझाउन सक्ने अर्को कर्भ यता छ भने इट इन्टरलिङ्क्स र लास्टमा चाहिँ इट बिल्ड्स कनेक्सन विथ नट ओन्ली द कन्टेन्ट बट विथ द स्टुडेन्ट्स एज वेल है त सो त्यही अर्को इम्पोर्टेन्ट थिङ that I really wanted to talk and share about was the presentation skills. Right? So with that, I'd like to call upon Yashaswi to take the lead.
Thank you so much, Suzzeet. You brought such an important point. जो चाहिँ हाम्रो teacher र student बिचको connection को कुरा है. There's something, the word connection is itself, it's so strong that without that connection, we may not have an effective learning. Let me take you to a class scenario. Let us all picture a student. A student may be anyone, student A. That student has no personal connection with the teacher. Teacher does not know much about the student. त्यसरी नै स्टुडेन्टलाई टिचरको बारेमा त्यस्तो खासै केही थाहा छैन. All they do is come to the classroom, teacher gives him the content, student may or may not understand the content, class ends, and that is over. That is where the relationship just gets over. Now, what if there is a confusion student ko mind ma? Ke confusion cha, tara that student is so confused whether to ask the question or not to ask the question. Kinaki ek ta connection chaina. Yadi मैले यो question सोधिहाले भने के थाहा sir might find it very stupid. What if I might be embarrassed in front of my friends, in front of the entire class? What if I might be passed with a sarcastic comment? यति सजिलो त बुझ्नु पर्ने हो नि, तिमीले मात्र नबुझेर हुन्छ. What if that happens? Now at the same time, when we imagine this situation, एउटा chain reaction चाहिँ के चाहिँ possibly develop हुन सक्छ is when there's a lack of connection, the teacher does not really know much about the student, what is happening with student or buzira cha chaina ke bhairasa beyond the classes, that may reduce the ability to empathize. The teacher may not understand what is happening on the student side. The student may vice versa not understand why the teacher is pretending that way or reacting that way. Kina communicate tesari gairahnu bhako cha. With this, we then have no comfort. I, as a student, I may be feeling scared to raise a question in front of a teacher who always passes sarcastic comments. Rather than asking him a question or asking her a question, I would rather end the class, go to Google, find the answer myself. I don't want to embarrass myself in front of the entire class. That is the space where there's no comfort. Yo sangai, I might have a whole wrong impression of the teacher, jahan chahi no connections hai. I may start disliking the teacher. I may start, not paying attention in the class and many more associated factors. यो सबैले गर्दा रिजल्ट चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने मेरो मात्र होइन कि the entire learning environment kind of becomes ineffective. This is a negative side. But now again, let us look at the positive side and let us now picture another student. Student B, for example. This student has an amazing connection with the teacher. Her teacher has such a close personal relationship in form of a student and a teacher. That's like they're sharing so many different things, not just about the content, not just about the knowledge or a coursework, but something beyond the classroom as well. They have the relation that say teacher is giving constructive feedback instead of sarcastic comments. Instead of criticism, the student is getting feedbacks and guidance, both academically or non-academically. Sangsangai, when this connection is built on, now if I was a student, I would pay more attention to the teacher because मलाई त्यो teacher मन परिरहेको छ नि त. मेरो मन पर्ने टिचरको क्लास छ, I will definitely try my best to listen to that teacher, pay attention to the teacher, have that desire to engage, interact, talk, and support the teaching and learning process as much as possible. केही कन्फ्युजन छ भने पनि सोध्छु, केही बुझेको छैन भने I might definitely ask the teacher classroom or beyond classroom, that level of comfort, the level of relationship, the level of easiness shall be built. And that is why having two phones simply placed in a room rather than two phones simply placed in a room without any connection, it is anytime better to have two phones placed in a room together with a connection, which would rather build an effective communication, an effective learning, and interactive learning as well as relearning. That would be the fourth point of our presentation, that's effective teaching and learning ko lagi connection ekdamai important cha. Carrying on with the same, I was just going through an article one day, euta emotional module ko related थियो. So in that article kind of wrote about an interesting concept, a concept about a big, giant, strong box. Your box, according to the article that was in the book, it was a part of a book that is Anatomy of Peace, your box, let's keep on in the need to be seen as box. We as humans, we are trapped inside the box in such a manner ki hami je chham, we kind of pretend or we kind of make sure that we stand true to what other people perceive us to be. Simple bhashama bhanyo bhane, or if I put it in a very simple manner, if somebody thinks that I am, a great student, now I need to be seen as an excellent student in everything, academically, non-academically, everywhere. If you are an engineer, you need to be seen as, someone who can, I think, fix everything. Engineering is spectrum. If you are a doctor, you need to be able to, find cure to everything. Or if you are a teacher, you need to be seen as someone who is intellectual every time. You need to be seen as a keeper of knowledge. You need to be seen as, somebody who has all the questions, all the answers to all students' questions. Student J question, so I have to know the answer because why? I am a teacher. I stand in that position. I need to maintain my position. But what if one fine day, a student and that student asks a question, the answer of which you might not know? What would then happen? Mero personal experience ma, teachers have been using one method, that is actually two methods. One method with two steps. Either they're going to, simply make something up, not sure if that is correct or not correct, or they may simply complicate even the simplest of thing. I had understood A देखि maybe S सम्म Z सम्म बुझ्नको लागि I am asking the teacher, तर त्यो S को कुरा फेरि घुमाएर A मै पुग्दिन्छ. Now I'm wondering whether to understand A or Z or S. So rather than that, I think an effective way out for this situation would be to use the power, the simple power of I don't know. This is tinta word matra, I don't know, but this is so powerful because now nobody is judging you. You do not have to be seen as someone who knows the answer to everything. Maybe Google definitely does have the answer to a lot of things, but there might be something that Google may take some extra time to solve. So just like that, if we have the power of saying, simply, I don't know. This, now the teacher and students, we can come along, we can collaborate. This is giving us the opportunity to come along. This is giving us the chance to come together as a team, as a teacher and student, and for the question ko answer khojna we can proceed ahead. This is also giving an opportunity to, get closer, get connected. Coming back to my previous point, be connected with the students. It is so simple. We simply say, I don't know. If we are able to do that, maybe students will never judge any teacher. Maybe we'll come forward ourselves to solve the queries that we ourselves have raised. That is definitely the fifth point of what a teacher can do in order to become effective. With that, I would like to come to the sixth and the last point, that is the energy of change. This is something I'd like to share very personally. This is, I believe, has a very much impact on the effectiveness. Let me take you all in my master's ko initial days ma. So Bhakar King's College join gareko थियो. It was initial days, okay, initial few classes. So what was the pattern was, class suru huन्थ्यो, a teacher used to come in, give his content and go back. Another teacher used to come in, give her content, go back. Umesh used to come in, give his content and go back. But what was so effective in Umesh ko class was the energy of change that he had. Let me tell you how. Hare class ko suruma, what he used to do was, he used to bring a deck of cards. A deck of cards with all the students' name written on it. Ye deck of cards, he used to simply come, shuffle the cards, place it on the tabletops. Now we as students have to do the effort to stand up from our chair, leave our comfort zones, find our names, pure class ghumera, naam kahan cha, kun kunama huncha, you're not sure. But with that activity, you're moving away from your comfort zone. You are breaking that monotony. After a constant seat, you're having a change. Energy of change, it kind of made me, break away from that fixed pattern of telling hi to the teacher, listening to the content, saying bye. It kind of made me extend my attention span. I used to be freshened up. 2 minute ko lagi bhaye pani, I used to stand up from my position, move to a new position, have new friends to sit with, and that little activity made me more engaged, more desirable to listen to what Umesh sir has to say. And this is not something that he did just once or twice. Every day. There was a time when we as students were so habituated to this that we used to come and simply look around every table as soon as Umesh sir comes in. So while I'm not saying that you should also do this, you may or may not do this as a teacher, what is so important is there has to be the energy of change in the teaching pattern. That saying that positive energy attracts positive energy. So just like that, if the teachers have the energy, they have that energetic personality or energetic feeling, that is same going to be reflected in the students. Sano change, it could be, taking a class somewhere else, or maybe online classes, maybe using different tools and techniques, maybe using a presentation, maybe you can use some different tools, Kahoot or Jamboard or anything that takes you away from the fixed pattern of teaching. That is also going to make the students more, I think, attentive. And attentive when they have the desire to learn only. That is how the teaching becomes effective, the learning becomes effective. Having said that, I've come to the recap of what me and Suzzeet have been talking about over the last few minutes. We talked about 6 different points that we feel on behalf of a group of students are the points that would make a teacher an effective teacher. And these points are simplification, learning, unlearning, relearning, being open-minded, presentation skills, building connection, power of saying, I don't know, and energy of change. You thought points like, if we have to categorize into broad categories, we came up with something known as skills and attitude. We thought, why not place these 6 points into 2 different categories where these would be divided as such. जहाँ skills भित्र चाहिँ simplification, presentation skills र energy of change पर्न जान्छ. Attitude would be learning, unlearning, relearning, building that connection and power of I don't know. So as teachers, while I'm pretty much sure that all of us, all the teachers have ample knowledge, ample, source of information, they kind of know what they're teaching, they have the content, it would even be more effective if that knowledge is mixed and combined with these two broad categories, that is skills and attitude. And when these three elements come along, that is where a teaching becomes an effective teaching. A teacher may become an effective teacher. Having said that, let us now come back to our initial match. A match where we had tag team partners, teachers, and another tag team partners, the students. Your situation is something that we have been seeing. Teachers are ek side ma, students are ek side ma. How about we do a little bit of shuffling, and instead of teachers versus students, how about we have something as this? Teachers come along with students, students come along with teachers, and as a team of teachers and students, as a team of students and teachers, match khilne nahi ho bhane, tag team match गर्ने nahi ho bhane, how about we do something like this? How about we come together as a team? How about we collaborate? How about when we come together and have a combined learning experience? And maybe when we do that, we may have an effective learning. We may have a journey of effective learning, relearning, and unlearning. And maybe that is how we both can become effective as students as well as teachers. Having said that, our match ends right here with the words of me and Suzzeet. Would like to thank you all for listening to us so patiently and giving us the chance to listen to a student's perspective. This was on behalf of a combined group of students. We hope you all like it. Thank you so very much.